The purpose of this almost altar-esque kind of contraption is for one to place the right hand within the liquid and then stamp it on the wall. The meaning comes from a combination of myths. The first myth is by the writer Ali Al-Saeed, who wrote a story called The Red Hand. He's from Bahrain, and he wrote a story which is a fictional story about the curse of the Red Hand and how it invaded people's lives and really kind of took over and caused chaos. The second myth is an old story from the land I come from, which is Ulster. It's the Red Hand of Ulster, and it's about two men who are racing to win Ireland, and the first one who was going to reach the land would win the island and become the king. So O'Neill, one of the men, realised he was going to lose, so he cut off his right hand, threw it on the island and won the land. And since then there's been this myth of the Red Hand of Ulster, this bloody hand. It also has connotations, really, this installation within the exhibition of the blood in Bahrain, which is so prominent with the Death Festival and the remembrance of Imam Hussein, grandson of Muhammad the Prophet. And men would walk around Manama once a year remembering him in festival of mourning and flagellating themselves with these razors on the back, and the streets are lined with blood, spattered with blood. And so I think the installation for me has been about somebody coming in, visiting that culture, visiting the Middle East, across the Gulf, and capturing something about this red liquid, the blood, or the connotation of the red hand. Even in on the walls of Bahrain when we were there, we saw some red handprints in the wall. We got a couple of photos, and I thought it would be great to collaborate with Ali Al-Saeed to make this booth and to bring his story, which is on one of the other walls in the exhibition, to life. Now it kind of looks like a crime scene, but that's good. I really like the aesthetic that how it's turned out, and people interact with it. So over the last couple of days in the exhibition, people have been challenged to place their hand in the bowl and make a handprint on the wall, and then they're walking around with a red hand. There's a towel to dry it, but really it does stay in your hand. And I quite like that idea that you see these people walking around the exhibition or around Brisbane with the red hand.
And this crossing of narratives, this has to do also with the concept of the exhibition, which is to bridge cultures and bring examples of the art of the Gulf area to this region. So what you're doing is crossing two different narratives that have common elements, right?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
I think it's really important. I think it's been very interesting, specifically for this installation and for this collaboration between Ali and myself. We've even created our own myth. So we've created a third myth, a third fictional story, which we have on the side of the booth outside here, where we've talked about a prince of Ulster and a prince of Bahrain, and we've basically made up a story which we haven't told people is fictional, so people are reading it in the exhibition and then believing it, and this idea that you can cross cultures, cross-pollinate ideas, transfer knowledge, transfer fiction, even lies, and make something romantic or tragic or something intriguing out of that, make a new story. So really that's been what this has been about, making a new story. And because we come from different lands, different cultures, different governmental, cultural, religious backgrounds, it's been really interesting to mix those ideas and mix where we're coming from.